What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another episode of Player Ratings as Tottenham beat Chelsea by 2-0 at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A result that was a long time in the coming. The last time we beat them was 2018, so it was great to get 3 points off them yesterday, albeit a very poor Chelsea side on the day. Let's start off with Fraser Forster. Sevens all round from us from Fraser Forster. Made 2 saves on the day, more or less routine saves, but I think he did them well. He also had that save against Sterling, which was later called for offside. But look, I think everyone was worried when Fraser Forster came into the side, and I think yesterday he wasn't tested that much, but I think everything that he did to a really good level.
Yeah, and we're starting to see the benefit of having a keeper that can come for crosses and is taller than Lloris and more commanding, which is positive. It was one of his easier days, to be fair. As you say, he made a couple of key contributions. I like his throws out the back as well. He gets the play going pretty quickly. But I think from his point of view, solid display. He was helped out by a very organised defence in front of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to Kuti Romero. 9s all round from us. And I was actually very close to giving him a 10 in this game. I thought he was absolutely sensational. And I would even go as far to say that potentially his best performance in the Spurs shirt yesterday, it was that good. I mean, the anticipation in his challenges, the aggression in his challenges, not one thing got past him for pretty much the whole day, helping us set us up on attacks as well going forward. I mean, the guy had everything in his play yesterday. I thought it was just unbelievable to watch him play. And it seems as though now, after a dodgy patch he went through during this season, he's getting better and better now, game on game.
Yeah, last few games he really has looked back to his best, and I think this was the best of the lot. I think Chelsea's attack really couldn't shake him off whenever he was engaging with them. His crunching challenges really got the crowd going, got the team going as well, and he really balances that fine line between over-aggression, being overzealous, and actually having good quality defending and timing his tackles well. And I think sometimes he goes over that line where he's over-aggressive, but I think he towed that line perfectly yesterday. Didn't get booked, I think, did he? No. Which is one of the only times in the past few games he hasn't been booked. But I think it was a near-perfect game from him. Havertz and Sterling must be sick of the sight of him. And obviously he was dribbling, he was getting forward as well. But his aggression and his defensive quality, he seems like he absolutely loves defending. He loves just having a good kick at someone. And that was a perfect example of it yesterday. Absolutely outstanding performance.
Yeah, he definitely loves a good kick at someone. Case in point when Emerson Royale scored last week against West Ham.
Exactly.
But let's move on to Eric Dyer in the centre of the back three. 8s all round from us, and a good look. You've got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, we've give Dyer criticism often this season, and I think that since spoiler for the next one, but I think since that Leicester game, he really has stood up for the team, or even before that, to be honest. The Leicester game was the exception to the rule in the last 5 games, because I think Dyer's really stood up for the team. In this game specifically, I thought he led the line really well at the back, in the centre of that back three. I thought command the line really well in that centre of a back three. And I thought the way he was stepping into the midfield and really helping out Ollie Skipp and Pierre-Emile Højbjerg really set us on our way to a victory yesterday. It's a really good performance from Dyer yesterday.
Yeah, and I thought Ollie Skipp was saying how there was a lot in the plan to step out to João Felix and make sure you're squeezing the line between the defence and the midfield, and it really helped Ollie Skipp and Højbjerg in their roles as well. And I think Dyer was really effective. Havertz couldn't. I think there was one occasion where he dived into a challenge and Havertz got the best of him, but that was quite early on. Other than that, João Felix and Havertz were not getting involved in the game. I thought Dyer was pretty aggressive, really good aerially as well. When he did engage, he made sure he came out on top. And I thought positionally he was really good, and I thought he was commanding the back three really well in terms of the high line and everything. So good day for Eric Dyer.
Absolutely. More of the same, please, Eric. Let's move on to the last of the back three, which was Clement Longley. 7s all round from us. And I thought defensively he did everything that he was asked upon him. Nothing really got past him throughout the night. And I think that over the past 2 games, he seems to be striking a really good partnership with Ben Davies at left wing back. I thought both of them performed really well. And look, I gave Longley a lot of criticism in the last week, saying that we should probably send him back. My mind hasn't changed on Clement Longley, but definitely a step in the right direction with that performance yesterday.
Yeah, I think he was better even than he was against West Ham last week, but I wasn't that impressed with him, although he didn't do too much wrong. I think he lost quite a few duels. I think in this time round he was definitely better, more aggressive. I think he probably likes having Davis next to him because Davis isn't going to leave him exposed, and he's not going to force him to be in situations he's not comfortable with because he's always helping him out. Now, the fact that the question is, we want to get to a stage where we actually have a defender in that position who is comfortable in those positions. So I think maybe it's a happy medium for them two at the moment, working together, Davis and Longley, on that left hand side, and I think they were comfortable and they didn't let anything really pass them. I think Longley was decent, to be fair. I don't think he was as good as Romero or Dyer, but I did think he had a decent game.
Yeah. Moving on to the right wing back, Emerson Royale, the man of the moment. 8 all round from us, and yeah, carbon copy display. I thought he was brilliant once again. Defensively, absolute sound. Moving into the midfield to help them out. Surges forward as well. It was his shot that led us on our way to Skippy's goal as well. Just an all-action display really from Emerson Royale. Once again, brilliant.
Yeah, again, good decision making, fantastic play down the right hand side, defensively on point. There was a few moments where you looked a bit worried because he got beaten by Chilwell or Sterling, and then he would make a really good recovery tackle. His pressing was really strong. He won the ball off Chilwell a few times when Spurs decided to press, and he helped pen Chelsea in on occasion. And I think he's just doing a really good role for what is being asked of him. He's cutting inside. He's not making, he's not overcomplicating his play. He's making short, clever passes inside to Kulusevski or Højbjerg or Kane or whoever it is he's passing to, and I think it's really working out for him right now. I'm very happy he's found himself a role in the team that he can be effective in, and long may it continue. Another really good display.
Moving on to the central midfield now, starting off with Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Sim gives him a 9, I gave him an 8, and I actually think it was his best performance of the season yesterday, albeit he did have very good form in the early stages of the season. He was absolutely brilliant yesterday, an imperious display. Defensively, he was incredible, shutting down that Chelsea midfield, non-stop work rate, covering every blade of grass, nearly got on the score sheet as well in the first half with a really nice hit that bashed against the post. But all game he was at it, literally at it, and I don't think we get that result if it wasn't for Højbjerg yesterday.
Yeah, and he really comes alive, it seems, when we're like pressing in the final third and Chelsea are trying to play their way out, and he's just there being a nuisance all the time with his pressing. And I thought he was phenomenal throughout the game. I thought, yeah, as you say, he went close with a shot which hit the post, but I thought by and large he was pretty good with the ball, and I thought he kept things simple, but off the ball is where he really shone, and he really helped dominate that centre of the midfield, and we won that midfield battle, which was really, really crucial, considering that Chelsea had Felix, they had Fernandes, Loftus-Cheek. They could barely get a kick in there.
In his midfield partner, Ollie Skip, Sim gives him a 9 as well. I gave him an 8. And look, this guy's growing and growing and growing as well. When you're looking at since he stepped in for Rodrigo Bentancur, we all thought our season was over when Bentancur was out for the season. And Skip has risen to the challenge, first in the San Siro, then against... was it Man City? No, then against West Ham, and now against Chelsea in 2 massive London derbies. So Skippy, defensively in the midfield, I thought he was brilliant, shutting down the Chelsea midfield as well as Højbjerg. But I thought where he earned his money yesterday was his drives forward. Obviously, he got his first goal for the club with a lovely finish into the roof of the net, albeit Kepa should have done better. But I think Skippy is just growing and growing and growing. I mean, what a player we have in our hands.
Yeah, and I'm so happy for him because it's been a long, hard process for him to get back to full fitness and seeing Skip back at his best. But it was well worth the wait because he's been absolutely brilliant over the past few games. And this is someone who we've had high expectations for a while, and maybe... I'm not sure, maybe belief in him is the wrong word, but he wasn't playing at his best over the past few weeks, and that was quite a concern, especially with Bentancur, Højbjerg playing really well and Sarr even coming through and shining. And it was he kind of was by the wayside. But I think the interesting thing was when Sarr had that unbelievable performance in the San Siro, they still picked Skip over him. And I think maybe Skip has taken confidence in that, and I think he's really taken this opportunity by with two hands. And he's like, I'm getting in this first team and no one's taking me out, because he's taken a while to get in there, to be honest, after being a mainstay under 18 months ago. And I think it means a lot to him to be starting for Tottenham. He doesn't take anything for granted, and I thought it was another special performance from him yesterday, showing what quality he does. And his first goal for Tottenham to cap off as well was a special goal. Yes, Kepa should have done better, but it wasn't Kepa's mistake which made Ollie Skip get there in front of Felix, and with his aggression and intensity, and get the strike off. And it was a good strike, whatever way you see it. So special moment for Skip and a great game, and hopefully these performances continue.
Absolutely, Tottenham boy through and through. You could see exactly what it meant to him. Let's move on to the left wing back in Ben Davies. 7s all round from us for Ben, and on his 300th appearance for Spurs. So big up to Ben Davies for that. But I just feel like we look so much more defensively sound when Ben Davies is at left wing back than when Perisic is there. And you've seen that over the past couple of games, in my opinion. And I thought he did everything that was asked of him defensively, to be honest. Him and Longley, like I said before, mentioned before, they worked so well together defensively, locking out Chelsea to anywhere near close to our goal. Going forward, though, are always going to be the question marks for Ben Davies, and I don't feel like he did enough going forward as maybe a Perisic would have done yesterday, but I think going the other way, it stands us in good stead.
Yeah, I thought it was another solid performance from Ben Davies, and he's doing an admirable job filling at left wing back. When a lot of the season he's played at centre backs, he's doing a lot more running. He says he enjoys it, getting forward a bit more, because he harks back to his full-back days. But as you say, the quality is lacking a bit when he gets into the final third, but he really does help out Longley, and he helps out midfielders when it comes to getting back in defensive areas. I thought Ziyech and Reece James really struggled yesterday up against that on that side. And I think Davis put in another solid game and just made sure that we weren't exposed over on that side. And I think for him playing in that position, that's all you can ask for.
Yeah. Let's move on to the front line now with Dejan Kulusevski. 7s all round for Deki. And it was better from Deki than what we have seen in previous weeks. And what we saw this game, which we haven't seen in previous weeks, was his ability to take on his man and beat his man, because that seemed to have gone from his game the last couple of weeks. And that definitely came back yesterday against Chelsea. You saw him beating his man for fun yesterday quite a number of times, albeit I think there was a bit of a lack of quality in the final third from him, but he was involved in Skip's goal when he played it to Emerson, where he had that shot saved from Kepa. So he was involved, and he did really well, and it was great to see that Kulusevski beating his man once again.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I thought Chilwell really struggled to deal with him when it came to Kulusevski having the ball to feet. A few times he wriggled in between two players, and as well he used his strength to not allow himself to be bullied by the wing-backs, and be able to have that ball retention. He could have worked a bit on maybe his creativity and creating chances, because there didn't seem to be too many being created by him. But I did think from that kind of standpoint, his ball retention, his dribbling ability, he looked really sharp, and he looked a lot more confident than maybe he had been, and sharper than he had been over the past few weeks. So very happy with Kulusevski, and hopefully he can marry that ability to take people on with his creative ability, which we know he can.
Moving on to Richarlison. 7s all round from Rishi. And look, Rishi put in so much effort, so much running, so much aggression into the game yesterday. The number of duels he won and had is a testament to that. And I would like to see him do more in the final third still. Still leaves you wanting more, albeit he did have his say in some of the goals. I think you were saying he won the corner for Kane's goal. He was involved in Højbjerg when he hit the post, and he was as well involved in Skip's goal as well with his pass to Kulusevski. So he did impact things in the final third at times yesterday, but still I would like to see more from Richarlison, but albeit a very good display.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with him yesterday. I thought it was better than his West Ham performance. I thought he was definitely involved in the attacking play, linking up with the other forward players at times. But I thought where he really earned his money was his work off the ball. He ran himself into the ground. He was in constant duels, getting tackles in. I think he made 5 tackles in the game, which is second out of anyone on the pitch, only to Emerson. So really good stuff going backwards. Obviously, he's judged more on his offensive play, and I do think he did a good role for the team as well yesterday on that front. So happy day with Richarlison.
Next up, Harry Kane, last of the starting 11, 8s all round from us, and I thought he was brilliant yesterday. The hub of the team, played more as like a playmaker than a number 9, but he was dropping deep into the midfield and spreading the ball so beautifully well. If Kevin De Bruyne spreads the ball like that, you'll be talking about it for years to come. That's how good his passing was yesterday, and it was so important to the team. Gets the goal as well at the back post, right place at the right time, as Harry Kane usually is, and we go on to win the game 2-0. So a really good display from Kane, and he was being so aggressive up against the Chelsea midfield and forward line as well. So I was loving that performance yesterday from Harry.
Yeah, and I really felt that goal was reward for his hard work. Because he looked like he was really doing a job for the team yesterday when it came to just being constantly available. His switches of play constantly on point, always putting Spurs in a good position going forward. And it seemed like he was sacrificing a lot. So for him to get his reward right at the end with a easy back post finish, from the corner, was just desserts for a great performance yet again from Harry Kane, who has really come back from the World Cup with a point to prove potentially, and he's been brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. And last but not least, Heung-min Son came on for the last 10 minutes, got 7s from both of us. And yeah, I mean, he made a nuisance for himself when he came on, and it was his corner that led to Harry Kane's goal with the Dyer flick on. So big up to Sonny.
Yeah, didn't get too many opportunities to run in behind like maybe he has done when he's come off the bench in previous games. I think there were opportunities, but unfortunately we just didn't make the most of them at the time. We made some wrong decisions. But I did think he looked sharp, he looked a threat, and it was a good corner, which obviously led to the second goal. So good contribution from Son.
And Stellini, 8s all round from us. I mean, the guy has stepped in admirably well for Conte since he's been out. That's now 4 games, 4 wins under Stellini. And I think that he managed the game perfectly yesterday, to be honest. The tactics, whether it be him or Conte, I thought was spot on. The way he had Eric Dyer pushing up into the midfield, I thought was brilliant. The way that Emerson as well comes into the midfield to help out, and the way he's going at the moment. I just think everything was absolutely spot on yesterday, and it was a well-deserved victory. And big up to Stellini.
Yeah, I think he managed the game really well. He only made 2 subs, but I think that the team was doing a good job, so he didn't have to make many substitutions. I thought it was a big decision to go and change and leave Sonny on the bench again, but I think it worked out well for us. I think Richarlison gave good balance to the team and made sure we weren't exposed. And keeping Ollie skip, that was a big decision after Sarr's performance in AC Milan, having skipped for 2 games in a row. That's what he decided, and that's paid dividends as well. So he's made a few big calls, Stellini, and he's getting them right at the moment. And the 2-0 victory was a really solid display, and hopefully we can use these kind of performances as a baseline as we try and build in the second half of the season to what we want to achieve. And under Stellini, haven't had a bad game yet.
If Conte does go, you want him as your number 1?
Bring him in. Bring him in. I don't think he would stay without Conte, but try and convince him, Levy.
Yeah, I'm all up for that. But no, that is your player ratings from the 2-0 win against Chelsea yesterday. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of our ratings, and put your ratings as well in the comment section below. Thank you, everyone, for watching today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.